Hi.
Welcome to
Karlie.
Without a Candle.
Yeah.
We are your hosts,
Carla.
and Carly.
Yeah.
We're just gonna jump right in. We are pretty passionate about some services that are forgotten about or
Yeah.
like people don't know what the hell they are and
Well,
like are a little leery to ask questions, right?
because they're just services that are kind of hard to explain,
Yeah,
right?
it's like one of those
And
things that you have to experience to kind of
yes.
get. Yeah,
And then even after that, it's hard to explain,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
So let's start with your soul strings because I feel like that's where it kind of started.
yeah,
Yeah, with your soul strings.
this last session definitely probably could have been, I know, that was a whole lot of clarity, right?
Yeah.
Definitely probably could have been soul strings, right?
Okay.
Like she came in for Reiki. Um, but I mean, I still set the space up like Reiki,
hmm
but we definitely could have done um,
Other
other
modalities,
modalities. Yeah,
for sure.
conversation first. But it was her first experience here. And so now we know what other modalities to use.
hmm Yeah.
But soul string is a really good discovery kind of
Okay.
session because you don't pick. And honestly, neither do I. It's a spirit guided decision on what modality is chosen,
For
or
you in that
even,
moment.
yeah,
Yeah.
for me and then whoever's coming in, even, not even, delete, or not, right? So what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a way to say sometimes it's just a really good conversation
hmm
that questions are answered and discoveries made, right?
Yeah.
Like you just need some insight on something a little bit deeper. Does that
Right.
make sense? It'd be a
Yeah.
conversation.
It's for those that have no idea what they want, but they have a feeling they need something,
Yeah.
or for the people that know what they want, but it's really not what they need.
Yes.
Yeah, so even if you know you want a Reiki session,
Yeah.
maybe you're open to having the soul strings with
Right.
you and seeing what comes through. And maybe Reiki wasn't what was going to
So
help them in that moment. Maybe it was a chakra scan,
right, or
you know?
yeah, or whatever. Maybe we're on to something in this season,
hmm
because you had mentioned one of your services before we started and how you're thinking about renaming it, to make it more true to what it is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Um, Maybe that's what's needed for both of these things. Yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
So,
I think when you said discovery, I instantly heard discovery call, and then I was like, well, it's not so much a call, but like, how can you
yeah,
rebrand that to be like a discovery something,
yeah.
right? Hmm, that would be good.
I wouldn't want to use
So,
the word conversations again because that's already used
yeah, and another
um,
one.
in that modality, even though it's underutilized. When it
It's
is
so
utilized, yeah.
powerful. Like my two profound experiences with that one. Oh, we'll get in there. We'll
Okay,
put a pin and we'll
gotcha.
get in there. We're
Thank you
talking
for
about
that.
soul strings.
Yeah.
Um, so kind of give me a little bit of background on how soul strings started for you
Yeah.
and like where that came about because I feel like just like anything that we do,
Yeah.
we are up at 2 a.m. We have a thought, we come in the next day and we just pour everything into
Yes.
it.
And just
So
make it a thing.
yeah, and I
Um,
feel like this modality has been almost around as long as we've been here on Pike Street
yes.
because we still had all of the services in the cubby up front.
Right.
hmm
So honest and transparent. It came out of a little bit of frustration,
Okay,
which may be the reason it needs to be renamed,
maybe.
right? So a lot of people only know one modality,
Yeah.
right?
hmm
And that would be tarot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people would come in asking, hey, do you read tarot? And one, just because I can doesn't mean I should.
Right.
And I do, but it's not how people normally see tarot read, right?
Yeah.
Like it's still more intuitive. I'll shuffle, I'll use the cards,
hmm
but then downloads just start coming in.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's kind of tricky to explain.
Yeah.
So on the chance that I could say, um, no, I don't really do tarot professionally, but I do all of these other things. Do you want to pick one?
And then
Because
they're
they
like,
don't know what these other
right,
freaking things are.
right. Kind of like
So,
how we had that one person wanting a tarot reading.
mhm,
And I was like, well, we don't have a tarot reader until this day,
yeah,
but we have rune readings. They were
right,
like, nope, I need tarot.
yeah,
It's like, well, you're limiting yourself, but okay.
right,
That's totally
yeah,
fine. You only know what you know.
right,
And that leans back into we need to educate,
mhm,
right? Maybe
yeah.
some videos, things like that. So sorry,
So,
go back to what you were
I
saying.
mean, no, I think it all bleeds in together because
Yeah.
it's all service based, these next
Hmm.
couple conversations.
Yeah.
But with the room readings, I wonder what would be like if you um, did some history on that for some of our posts.
Yeah, for
And
sure. I've been
then,
thinking about doing
okay,
that.
and
And
then just show
mhm,
um, one rune at a time to
yeah,
be like, this is what it could mean,
yeah,
right? Or typically when I see this, this is what it means. Does that make sense?
yeah.
But you're not, I know we're not supposed to talk about runes, that's not
That's
what's
okay.
next, but you read runes a lot the same way as I read tarot,
Hmm.
right? Like it's
It's a very intuitive, like it's I can pull I traditionally start with three. I don't do normal spreads.
mhm,
I just start with three because you got to start a message
right.
somewhere.
Yeah.
And as soon as I see them, like I just start getting messages
Hmm.
and they're there almost like a visual for the client, but
Yeah.
they don't need it. They need what I'm telling them from these downloads.
Right.
And those pieces, those runes just help put that story together
Hmm.
like tarot. So it's
Yeah.
like it's really no different. It's
Hmm.
just they're rocks and not cards,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah. Well, runes can
Yeah.
also be bone or
Yeah.
wooden disc too, right? But
Yeah.
yours are stone.
Yeah, mine are stones because I like the Euperlite. They're
They
Euperlite.
glow in the dark.
Yeah.
Um, but so we might as well just continue on with that for a second.
Yeah.
You also use a pendulum board on occasion,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, mainly I use that just around like a one room pool
Hmm.
instead because it's kind of hard to like do
Pinpoint.
multiple
Yeah.
runes. So I usually do that as like a straight like yes or no question or just like, hey, here's your one rune
Hmm.
for whatever you need it. Um, and just go from there
Hmm.
with it. But yeah, it's a pendulum board. It's got all the runes right around it and just like
Yeah.
a normal pendulum board. So it's
I
kind of
think
cool.
that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
There's
Yeah.
more on that later.
Yeah. So go back to Soul Strings
Okay.
and you were saying how it kind of fruition our frustration
Yeah.
because people just don't know what they need sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
They come in knowing they need something, but the only thing that they know how to ask for
Is
is
tarot.
tarot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like that's just a comforter, no,
A more
comfortable
comfortable. Yeah.
um thing to ask for because it's been on TV, it's been in
Mhm.
movies, it's
Mhm.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
So
There's so much more to
yeah.
that. So when you book with somebody, what is something that you um tell them ahead of time so they prepare? Or you don't? You
No,
just like
not
show up.
really. But I mean, excuse me, once they ask what it is, then they understand that they're just showing up and they don't know what they're showing up for,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So it's a little tricky.
Yeah. So then during session, you just sit
We just
down
yeah,
and start asking questions about,
just like we are. Yeah.
yeah, how are you? How are you
So
feeling? What are some things that you're wanting to work
mhm,
through? And then that's when, as the client is talking to you,
yeah.
when you start getting these downloads and you are
Or a
spirit
heads
led.
up of what they need,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
one lady came in, she chose conversation in spirit because she knew she didn't know what she needed.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, she chose soul strings.
Soul strings.
But once she got here, she definitely needed a conversation in spirit. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
So,
And so any modality that comes through for you can range from a chakra scan to aura photography to
mhm,
conversations in spirit,
Reiki,
Reiki,
mediumship, if that
mediumship,
happens. Yeah.
yeah. Or and
So,
you've been known to pull your tarot cards too
yeah.
sometimes.
Mhm.
So that is a really good
I usually
benefit.
sit down with my whole box,
Yeah,
so it's
just
got my
you have
pendulum.
your whole
Yeah, it's
toolkit.
got my stuff in
Yeah,
it, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
And that can range anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just because
typically.
conversation typically takes longer,
Yeah.
right? And part of the beginning of that is the discovery of like what's coming.
Yeah.
Or what's a good option for today.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
yeah.
Okay. And
What else?
then that leads us into conversations in spirit
Hmm.
because that came a little later. And I think that came around when you really started pushing your sound baths
Yeah.
a little bit more. And then we also had this pipe dream of um, having a full day of just like rotating meditations.
Right.
Yeah.
And that still may be a thing.
Yeah. I think that would be
Yeah.
beneficial maybe a couple times a year, maybe.
Um,
So anyway, talk
yeah.
about
So,
what
conversations
conversations
in
in spirit
spirit.
is. Yeah.
So, I won't use names, but I'll share a little bit more of a deeper insight
Mhm.
of, and those that know me will know who I'm talking about, and that's okay. But I'm still not going to share names. So, in knowing that there is growth, in knowing that there often needs to be closure
Yeah.
before the growth. And I want to preface this too, just by reminding people that sometimes people do things and they don't know what they're doing,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Um, or how it affects others, or they're not educated on how to make better decisions, right? So there was an experience that I had with a family member.
Okay.
Yeah, I went on a trip and there were some things that unfolded with a family member while I was gone. Um, very cowardly via messages,
Okay.
right? And I made the decision in that moment to just be done.
Okay.
Okay. However, um, that's what I thought, just be done, right?
Mhm.
As years passed, um, it was obvious that I still had some thoughts,
Okay.
maybe even emotions around things that had transpired.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I also know that one, and this is shitty because there's been both. Actually, there's not been both. There's not been a wedding. Short of a wedding or a funeral,
Okay.
and this is the shitty part because there's been funerals, we are not going to share space.
Okay.
Nope, not happening.
Yeah.
So, if you can't even share space with someone you're needing closure from, how in the fuck are you supposed to have a conversation with them?
Yeah. For
Right?
sure.
And then, like if that's like, that's not going to happen, then you also know that no matter what you say or do, should you guys ever share space, there's not going to be closure.
Yeah.
The other person, or I may be the person,
Mhm.
but in this situation, the other person is not equipped to offer the
Mhm.
conversation for the closure that is needed.
Right. For the collective to be able to
Yes.
move on and not let that
Mhm.
pain, anger,
Yeah.
frustration, sadness, all of those heavy emotions
Yeah.
keep with you
Right.
moving forward. And I do want to add that even if you don't all the time, it's not in your head all the time, it's still in you all the time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that is still walking with you in every decision. Like, we could have a conversation and I could say something that's triggering to you about this person, and I would have never known that. And you could have
Yeah.
retaliated in a way, and you're like, well, I'm not mad at Carly. Why did I act that way?
Yeah.
Because you didn't know your body was holding
Right.
that in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I just want to do a little plug here, and then I'll finish sharing, the development of that. So read the book
Okay.
from today. That book has like, and maybe after she reads it, we'll plug it into the episode or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Right. It's just hitting so many points
Petty
for
points.
so many
Okay.
people today
Okay.
that happens more often than not.
Yeah.
So with the concept of like, I am not going to be in the same building, the same room with that person.
Yeah.
I am definitely not having a conversation, a physical human conversation with that person, right?
Yeah.
Add in the concept that I know I work in my sleep. I know that I visit people in my sleep, right?
Yeah.
The shamans would call it either like walking the hedges or traveling
Yeah.
between worlds or those kind of things. So whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter to me. So if I know that I am already meeting people, um, I sort of say I'm not choosing to, but I bet I am somewhere choosing to meet the people I meet in my dreams,
Mhm.
right? Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
I
Kind of,
see.
sort of.
Yeah.
Um, I bet. So this was a click for me. I bet I can meet people outside of sleep. I bet I can meet them just in a meditative state,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
So, um, yeah, it just, and then
Yeah.
one day it just all clicked. Someone said here in a different session how they wish they could talk to so and so.
Mhm.
I was like, are they dead? And they're like, no, but I'm not talking to them. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There's the rest of the picture.
Yeah.
There's the middle piece of the puzzle, right? Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah. So, for those who don't follow as well as I do,
Okay.
Carla
Yeah.
with Carla and Carla Eves, however you want to add
Yeah.
that, is
No, perfect. Yeah.
conversations in spirit, like the basic of it is being able to go into a meditative state via guided
Guided. Hmm.
meditation and be able to have conversations with somebody that you either can't have a conversation with in your human existence right
Hmm.
now or because they have passed on.
Yeah.
And whether that is closure with, when I was a child, you hurt
Hmm.
me this way, or as an adult, you made me experience this, and I'm carrying that. Or maybe you have been the problem,
Yeah.
and you know that no matter how many times you make amends, that person is still going to look at you and judge you and not give you a chance to
Yeah.
rectify. That you can have some type of closure in this meditation and know that you have done everything that you possibly can now to move on, and now you can.
So, and then once you learn that, because I'm
Mhm.
going to drop another nugget here,
Okay.
right? You don't even have to meet a person.
No.
You can go back and just meet a place,
Yeah.
right? So I've shared this
Mhm.
story before where I had this lady that came in and she had so much resentment and distaste for her mother over bath time because as a
Yeah.
child, having water poured over her head consistently was traumatizing,
Mhm.
right? As an adult, she knows that there wasn't a reason to be traumatized. Like it wasn't enough water to hurt her.
Yeah.
So as an adult, she could go back to that place
Yeah.
and meet that place
Yeah.
and reprogram that.
Yeah.
So it opens all kinds of doors, right?
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and then
I
so
just got I just got a little thing when you said plays, because that's more of a situation.
yes, absolutely
Yeah.
is.
So maybe something traumatic happened on a highway or in a parking
Oh,
lot,
absolutely, yeah.
and you every time you drive past that, you get
Mhm.
an
Yep,
experience, right? We have a panic attack or an
yep.
anxiety attack or
That was
something.
a lady that came in and
Yeah.
she witnessed, a motorcycle crash,
Yeah. Oh, I
and
remember that.
so she was haunted by this kid. Well, he wasn't a kid, but
Younger
in us,
adult. Yeah.
yeah. Um, he came across as like a prankster, so he was haunting her dreams
Mhm.
as a prankster.
Okay.
And so we revisited and
Yeah.
found closure that way.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out how to reword that or figure out
Yeah.
how. Oh, that's not the one. It was Soul Strings. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
Soul Strings needs
Yeah.
to be rebranded,
And then
but more
so.
education around conversations in spirit because it, you may not even realize
Mhm,
that you do need to talk to somebody.
yeah.
So, for my experience, and I'll give this as the example,
Mhm,
my first experience with conversations in spirit was during a sound bath. And I forgot we were doing the meditation with
mhm,
that sound bath that day. So I came in completely unprompted. And she was like, Carla,
mhm.
she was like, I want you to think about somebody you want to talk to. And I'm like, I don't really have anyone to talk to, but it would
Yeah.
be really cool to like talk to my aunt.
Mhm,
And so I'm like, oh, my Aunt Nora. And then I heard, no, Andrew.
mhm,
And I'm like, I have nothing to say to my
mhm.
grandpa. He
Yeah.
died when I was 7. Like, what do I,
Right.
And so I was like, no, I really want to talk to Nora. And I like the voice got stern and they were like, no, Andrew. And I'm like, who am I to say,
Right.
no,
Fine.
okay. And we went through the meditation and through the whole thing, I wept. I wept and I cried, but it was so cathartic because I didn't realize that he was part of that trauma healing
Yeah.
of my journey. Like he passed away when I was 7. Like
Right.
how much of an
You
impact
didn't
of my
realize it
living.
imprinted on you.
Yeah, and then also how his death imprinted on the family that got passed down the bloodline, and like it was a whole thing. And by the time I came out of that, it was so I felt like I could breathe so much better than I did when I came into it. It was and I've never had an experience like that with any type of meditation before. I don't meditate traditionally. Like I just can't. My ADHD squirrel brain just goes everywhere. But there was something so different about that specific guided meditation and being able to visualize and answer questions I didn't even, or ask questions I didn't even know I had, and express things I didn't know I had to express. So maybe you book the session and see what just comes through with you without even having a person, place, or thing in mind that you have to have this conversation with.
Right.
Because my second meditation put me right back at the Buddhist temple in Hawaii, and it just had me sit there.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, and then, so sometimes too, we think a conversation has to be shared
Yeah, verbally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just
stroking out.
there's so much out there, right? It's kind of
Yeah,
like writing, like it gets messy up there.
yeah,
So, but it's not.
no,
You and I can have a whole conversation with just me like holding your hand,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Or just looking at you.
yeah.
Like it
Or
doesn't
like
have
2
to
words, and we're like, yep,
yeah,
okay.
right.
Yeah,
Or look,
yeah,
the WTF, right? Or
yeah.
what?
Raised eyebrow.
So yeah, all things. So if you come in and you have this concept of a conversation in spirit, but you don't know what to say, then maybe you just share space,
Yeah. Oh, what if the conversation was with yourself?
Absolutely, yeah.
Sorry, that just like
Yeah.
popped in my head because sometimes we're the ones holding ourselves back.
hmm Yeah.
Ooh,
Remember
goosebumps.
Carly?
Oh, yeah,
And that
that
would be
was
the
another
same as
one.
like, we
Yeah.
going back to an event
hmm
and being like, okay, this
I
is
could have done this better,
yeah.
or I could have said this differently. And
Or
just
what you
working.
saw wasn't what you saw.
Yeah,
Or what you heard didn't mean what you think it meant. As
yeah,
an adult perspective,
yeah,
right? And so
man.
but yeah, all the things,
Yeah.
right?
So that's another what, hour and a half?
Yeah, I mean, if you do it, I really like that one with the group because there's the prep,
hmm
right, where we're standing and
And
we're
that's the
doing,
grounding.
yeah,
That's the
grounding and
grounding
centering.
work.
And then there's some journal time. And then there's the group guided meditation. And then there's the sound bath. So if you're doing that, that's
Yeah,
about an hour and a half.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I really like doing the group because all of that, and you are like with fellowship and you are with people that are going through the same thing you're going through on a different frequency and different level, but it's so very personal and so individualized
Yeah.
because the ambiance is just so calm and
Right.
low, and everyone's just in their own little bubble on their cot, and it's it's just the right amount of like personal while also being supported.
Absolutely.
And I love that. We usually have like warm tea. We all have blankets. We all come in our PJs sometimes, like
Yeah, it's
comfortable
really
clothes.
nice. Yeah.
And we all know that regardless of who you are, what path you walk, whatever, you're gonna be able to be heard if you want to share and be supported in those moments when you come out of that sound bath.
Right.
And I really like that you do the sound bath after because that helps realign what is
Oh,
already
absolutely.
shaky in
Yeah.
that meditation. It's really nice.
And it allows you to do that meditation again if
Oh
you
yeah,
want to.
all the
So
time.
if you decide like, ooh, I want to, see my second cousin on my mom's side,
Yeah,
well then you can do it again,
yeah,
right?
for sure.
So
And
I
I
mean,
am not, I do want to add that I am not like pitching this or selling this because it's our business.
Mhm.
It's really because I'm passionate about the work that you do, that you offer, and firsthand experience, like
Yeah.
mind blow
So
crazy.
then, here's something too. Like, I appreciate you saying that. I
Yeah,
do, right? And we talk so much and we share so much.
yeah,
In a practice like this, there's no reason you can't do that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So who knows?
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe in
I mean,
time.
but I think she just really likes experiencing it.
I
So,
do. I do like to
that
be
kind of stuff.
like, I'm not working, I'm
Yeah.
just here.
I'm just doing the things.
Yeah,
So those are two services of, kind of what I offer,
yeah.
but there's no reason you can't as well,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
The third one is something that you offer
yeah,
that's also underutilized.
yeah,
And I feel like maybe it does need to be a class again too,
yeah,
right? So I know it's tricky because you
yeah,
specialize and you individualize
yeah.
these for different levels
I
of
was
understanding.
I was thinking that maybe doing it individualized like how I do,
Mhm.
because I'm working to restructure it going into
Yes.
26.
So it's
Um,
currently called,
the basics 101.
but what the hell does that mean?
Right,
Okay.
right. It,
Yeah.
it could mean anything,
Yeah.
right? It could, and usually I throw under my already established classes under that
Mhm.
for people booking one-on-one. So like that's kind of where the gray area
Mhm.
is of like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So anyone can book any of my group classes with me
Mhm.
one-on-one, no problem, right? Like I have a student that is going to finish up her rune class in 2 weeks with me, and we've been doing every um Sunday
Oh,
once a
people
month.
had so much fun with that.
Yeah, it was a really good class. I think I'm also going to revamp how I do that too. Instead of 4
Mhm.
classes on different days, maybe 2 and just longer.
Yeah.
Because it's so much information, but
Mhm.
it's beneficial. Just like anything, I feel like it's beneficial because I'm
Mhm.
putting my time and energy into it, right? Anyway, back to back to the basics. Um, the basics 101 really came into be a thing when we went through a season of so many people coming in and asking questions of how do I do this or where
Mhm.
do I start? And it got to the point where I was like, I can't, I'm working the desk.
Mhm.
Like, this is an in depth conversation. I'd love to help you. I would love
Mhm.
to have this conversation with you, but we need a place to start. And I need to give you one on one attention. Like,
Yeah.
I can't keep having this conversation with you while I'm trying to check other people out and answer questions and
Yeah.
whatever, whatever. And so the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I didn't have, like, when I was first introduced to spirituality, was when me and you first
Mhm.
met. But that was just it. We had just met. Like, we
Yeah.
hadn't been intertwined yet or
Right.
anything. And I was still trying to find my footing. I've always missed something with the church and
Mhm.
finally found that in spirituality.
Mhm.
And so doing my own research, it got overwhelming. It got so overwhelming because there's so much information out there. There's so much gatekeeping. One practitioner is telling you you could do it this way, another practitioner is telling you no, you can't. And it's like, where's
Where's the middle
where
ground?
right, like just tell me. It shouldn't be this hard.
Mhm.
So I had decided that I was going to make the basics 101 where you can come to me and be like, hey, I really want to learn more about shamanism. Can
Mhm.
you curate something or tell me, like, help me
Mhm.
where, what resources, whatever. And so I would go and curate an hour and a half discussion and then send you home with resources that you can
Yeah.
use outside. And then if you wanted to book another one, you could be like, now I want to learn about drumming, or
Mhm.
now I want to learn about this path, or I want to properly know how to set up a crystal grid,
Yeah.
or like whatever it is. Okay. Now, as I'm shifting into the new year and shifting, like I've got some other things in the works behind the scenes happening.
Right.
Things got to shift and move with
Yeah.
it, right? So that's where I feel like the name change needs to
Okay.
come into play, especially where the basics 101 is so basic, it's such a great area, like that title, right?
Yeah.
So we were just chatting before the podcast that I
Maybe
think
that's something people vote on.
oh, maybe.
And so a lot of that too
Yeah.
is up to us, and then
Yeah.
Jill and Jamisa, right?
Yeah.
So I'll fill you in on the back side of that thought.
Yeah.
Is that sometimes we're having these conversations,
Mm.
and we need to remember to say that sounds like an appointment.
Yeah.
That sounds like a class for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we need to remember that we offer these services
Yeah.
instead of spilling everything on the sales floor
Yeah.
in the moment.
Right.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Because not only are we taking away our time from other things that we should be doing,
well,
but
and customers in front of us right
yeah,
now.
yeah, and there could be information that we're missing or we're not specifically answering because they're not asking the right questions yet,
Right.
and it's like, we're missing each other in some way, and they leave more confused than anything because we just
Right.
info dumped a bunch of stuff. So, moving into 26 with the name change, I do want to change the structure of it a little bit. I think it needs to be a tiered service.
Okay.
No matter what you want to learn on, you have to start here.
Right.
And the first time we sit and chat is going to be the foundation and fundamentals of spirituality and paganism on top of having that discovery conversation.
Right.
What exactly are you searching for?
Right.
Okay.
And I don't know is still an okay answer, even at that point, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I just want to know something.
Right.
Right.
So then I can give you options to choose from, and we'll go from there. And I think at least 3 sessions is going to be more beneficial for the individual than just one session, cram a bunch of stuff into it, and you still aren't putting the puzzle pieces together. You know what I mean? So that's something that I'm gonna kind of revamp going into the new year, and I'm kind of excited about it. But then also not putting in those group classes under that umbrella. You guys just know I offer Candle Magic. And if I don't have it on the schedule for a group class, you can always message and be like, hey, I really want to learn this
I'm sure
in
that
my
that's
schedule.
something that can be a jot form.
Oh, absolutely.
Is like, I don't know what I want, but the drop down, people can choose what they want.
Yeah.
And that can be with services and classes, right?
Yeah, like an intake. And it's almost to the point where, oh, you want to book a session? Well, you're going to fill out this questionnaire first, and then we're going to help you figure out what you need. Not based on, what you think you need, or tell us all the things, and then we can give you options. We can work within your budget on like what, like not try to sell you on a $90 Reiki session when Reiki isn't going to help you. Like
but Reiki helps everything.
Right. It really does. But yeah, I think that you're okay. You can do that.
I can kick you?
Yeah, for sure. I'll just kick you that.
Squirrel.
So yeah, I think that those 3 services are really important for people to take some time to research on their own and ask questions, and maybe not ask questions, maybe just book the appointment and experience it. So because we've had these on the schedule for at least 2 years. Like we've had these services for at least 2 years, and it's something that we don't want to get rid of because we know how much of an impact and how valuable they can be for people, but
they're underutilized.
For sure.
So part of the challenge too, and then so maybe this is something that you guys can chime in and help us with if you made it this far, is let us know how we can make it easier for you to book something, right?
Yeah.
And maybe you and I need to have the conversation to like how a sound bath with guided meditation can be available every other month, right? And just make those commitments. So with you going through the series of rooms, then maybe there's just a room class every other month, right? And they can choose
what they want. Yeah.
So,
Man.
but there's just a lot of, things to put into play and to
Yeah.
figure out how the chess pieces move and how it works or how it doesn't work.
Yeah, for sure. You know, this is something that we're trying and testing the waters with this Saturday with the mixer. So if you're listening to this when it drops on Friday, November 14, 2025, November 15, 2025 is our Customer Appreciation Day mixer with the practitioners.
Yeah.
And one reason why I really wanted to have this mixer was so people can come in on a no pressure situation and chat with Karla, myself, and our other practitioners and ask the questions about our services and really get a good understanding of what we do, why we do it, and set up maybe a game plan for your own self care going into 2026. Because by the time they come in, I should have a rough, at least for the first quarter of 26, right? Of like them on the schedule. So maybe that's something that you guys do for yourself going into the new year and like the new me and all the things with the new year resolutions and things like that is maybe you start booking your self-care ahead of time.
Right.
Not when you find time for it, but you make time for it.
And we understand too that sometimes there's mental, spiritual emergencies, and you just wake up and you're like, oh, I need to go see them today. And that's okay. We can always work around things.
But this is more so for you guys to get a schedule in place, quote unquote. I'm using schedule very lightly, really loosely here. That it's in your book, you see it, and maybe you book a tarot reading for, February, and that a week comes up to that, and you're like, man, I actually really can't make it, but I'm going to reschedule instead of, oh, I'll just get the next one or whatever. Like, it can help you be more mindful in actually setting time aside for yourselves. So, if you're listening to this when you should be, when it drops Friday morning.
I started to say tomorrow. This week has already been so crazy.
We have one more day. Don't do that to me. Maybe you take a chance, you come in, eat some of our food, chat with us for a while, and book some stuff and ask some questions. Yeah. So I think that's
I'm excited.
I am too. Yeah. I'm excited too. Finalizing details for that today.
Oh yeah, she's got me here, so she might as well. Right?
Yeah.
It's good. We need to.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
So,
I feel like every time we sit down to do a podcast recording, like it's been a minute since we've sat down to do anything. So I'm like, yay, conversation.
Yeah. And now I get to info dump all of the
So is there anything else you want to mention?
Going into 26, hopefully we'll have a professional working on the website. And that'll help with booking a lot better. In the meantime, you can still book from the website. You do have to go through an approval process when you do that, though, just to make sure the scheduling is lining up the way it should.
And that's just because we do so much.
Yeah. So, and stuff gets moved around day to day. Like you guys do not want to see our calendar.
It's funny, I hear in person, like someone says, they do a lot. Like, have you seen what they do? Imagine if everyone could see everything we do.
Yeah. Like Daniel was asking me what my schedule was for next week, and I was like, I don't know. I haven't got till Sunday because I don't look ahead for like when I send the sitter and until like that Sunday before that week, because things move so much.
Oh yeah.
There's so many moving pieces. Like hell, we were supposed to have another guest for the podcast to do another episode today, and we had to reschedule something last night.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited. Hopefully she can make it in next week like we had originally planned. But yeah, I handed him my schedule. I was like, I don't know, figure it out. And he's looked at the calendar and he's like, I'll just wait. He's like, I can't even read all this. I'm like, I don't even know right now.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Crazy. So then we will see you tomorrow, because by the time you watch this, it's Friday.
Yeah.
So tomorrow will be Saturday.
Yeah.
We will see you Saturday.
Yeah.
And some of you guys haven't been in for a while.
Which you should, because we've got some surprises.
We've moved some shit around. We've got some new shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got some new shit coming. Stuff that's already come. I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna say bye.
Yeah, okay. Bye.
Bye. See you later.